Milwaukee was founded by three primary people: Byron Kilbourne, Solomon Juneau, and George Walker. And Walker's Point is named after George Walker. Juneau and Kilbourne eventually synthesized into Milwaukee, but Milwaukee started out as three different groups in competition to sell land. Byron Kilbourne was on the west side of the Milwaukee River, north of the Menominee Valley. Juneautown was the third ward and everything north on the east side of the river, and Walker's Point was just south of the Milwaukee River and where the Menominee River meet. Walker was the slowest of the developers. He had some problems with his land contracts that had to be ironed out. Juneau and Kilbourne took off and were in intense competition with each other to sell the plots in their respective communities. They cooperated at no level whatsoever. Milwaukee really was two competing places. The thing that really changed Milwaukee for the river certainly was what was called a straight cut. And there used to be a long peninsula, and I have some maps over there that show it. There was a long peninsula that had an entry way at the bottom, and you had to wind up that entryway up to the river. In 1857, the city of Milwaukee and the Corps of Engineers did what was called a straight cut at the top of this peninsula. It created Jones Island, and it created a direct route into the Milwaukee River, and that's still in effect today. And what that did is it radically changed the commercial and industrial use of the Milwaukee River. It truly became an artery for commerce. It was dredged several times because you had to turn a river into a channel for large ships, schooners, and in the 19th century, and then freighters. And some of the pictures I have up, and there are some at the Historical Society, you will see images of very large ships in the river. They would go up past the point where we're going to be going, which is the Schlitz Park area, to almost the North Avenue Dam, the very end of the river. If any of you know where Lakefront Brewery is, big ships would go up that far because there were tanning industries, coal and wood were dropped off, and then that area was the terminus of what was known as the beer line, which was a railroad that brought supplies, grain, everything, to Schlitz and Pabst Brewery, which were right there.
Don't have the
or Walker's Point with the third ward, which is part of Juneautown. Water Street was one of the first paved streets in Milwaukee. It was part of the commercial and warehouse network in Milwaukee. George Walker's house was beyond that at First and Seabooth. Water Street runs into First Street, which at the time was known as Reed Street. And we're in the confluence of the Menominee River and the Milwaukee River. If we went under that swing bridge, which still operates, we'd be in the Menominee Valley, which was a series of canals and the Menominee River. The Menominee Valley in the 19th and 20th century was a heavily industrialized area. There wouldn't have been much to see there even into the 1960s, except large piles of coal derricks, and various freighters. It had been a hotel and then a series of bars. It is probably most well known as one of Milwaukee's first really big premier gay and lesbian bars. It was known as the River Queen at that time. It was like 75. One of the first, I don't know how you say it, out bars, one where there was no, it didn't have to be a bar that was super. I remember it only people were talking about it. It was already there now when I was old enough to start old. But it was right there where the city market was. It was called the Pabst Building, and it was built by Frederick Pabst. It was built on the site, or very close to it, of Solomon Juneau's first house, and his son Peter lived a little bit farther down, and then moved to the Third Ward. But this was Solomon Juneau's house. This building is designed to somewhat simulate the old Pabst building.